Right, for Nutrien, we are getting out and about here in beautiful Wagga on a beautiful sunny day. Scotty Robinson joins me. Firstly, Scotty, welcome.
Thanks, Paulie. How are you?
I'm very, very well. The weather is, you put the weather on, it's an outstanding day here. Been a funny year for breeding, but your property looks sensational. You must be wrapped with how you've come through like so much different weather this year and last year.
It's been good. The rain came at the right time, kicked all the lucerne off, everything. Breeding-wise, I think we're 18 out of 18 in foal again for next year, so...
It's always a good sign, isn't it?
It is. And the foals look healthy. Foals look... We've had a couple that were sick, but most of them have come through pretty good, and they're all, as you've seen, they're all up and firing, so there's a couple of nice ones amongst them for the year after. You've always got to look ahead.
We'll just give a little tease out. There was probably one stallion here that... caught my eye, fair to say, with one or two horses, impressively, King of Swing, like a new season sire, and he throws a stamp. He throws his stamp, if you like, on his foals, doesn't he?
I've never really been one to want to go back again after, like, miss the second year or miss the second and third year and see what happens. But I rang up and booked and got in, snuck in somehow. So, but they're just outstanding. Yeah. They're just, you know, if every horse he has that comes out like that, he's got to make it.
Yeah, no, and I'm not saying that. I encourage people to come here. We want people to come here and have a look at your yearlings and your yearling draft before the sales. But if they do, have a look at some of these foals as well. But you know, you've got some beautiful Seasides, treacherous. You've got an American Ideal filly down there as well. She's a cracking type. So you've got a little bit of everything. Do you have a formula with your breeding? Do you follow a formula, or is it you just sort of try to look for what people might want to buy at the sales?
You got to get both. I think if you're breeding the top end, you got to sort of go to your what they really want. So your treacherouses and your loos and your betters in the past and stuff like that. And then, but if you're breeding to a more moderate mare, I think you can play with your own theories on what you want to do and stuff like that. So, and you know, sometimes you get the right results, sometimes you don't get the right results. So when you go to the sales, they either pay you for your knowledge or they don't. Yeah, no, it's always a punt. I want you to take half a step this way because I want you in the picture. It's no good just having me and talking to someone that's out of the picture. But it is one of those things, and I feel for breeders sometimes. You know, you're trying to predict 3 years ahead of the curve, and it can be cruel sometimes, and other times it can be so rewarding, can't it? Well, you talk about it like the industry changes within a year, like. After the sales last year, everyone hated the crunches. Now they're all wanting them and talking about them, how good they're going and running along. So, you know, you just don't know. You just sort of got to hope. You've really got to stick to the tried and true ones if you're going commercial all the way. So your treacherouses and that. But you saw the crunch filly down there, and she's cracker. So how do you not breed to him again in the future? But you just got to hope they come out next year and they want to run.
Brett Coffey's going to kill me. I know it was definitely a filly. You've got a filly as your last one in your draft, and it was definitely a filly in Tasmania that topped the sale, or equal topped the sale, and I think it was a filly for APG that was a crunching. It was definitely a crunch.
Yeah.
I just can't remember. It was a filly or colt. It was a colt, was it?
Yeah, it was a colt. Our Sweet Melody. Yep. Half or three-quarter, been by Crunch to the Treacherous filly. So, yeah, and he was a nice type. So he throws good types. I think last year's top filly in Sydney was a Crunch as well.
Yep.
So, you know, they seem to be wanting them, so we just got to go along with them. So we just got to make our bookings for next year.
Your draft this year, 2 colts, 8 fillies. Really exciting bloodlines. In there, you got New Zealand bloodlines. You got a proven sale bloodline, if you like, with Return to Me, having a full sister to there. You've also got the Sweet Loos, which are the flavour of the month in America, and starting to come here. Captain Treacherous speaks for himself. Art Major. You got a Tall Dark Stranger that really I was captured by. You've got a little bit of sort of everything there, but some really unique bloodlines, haven't you? You got to have the difference. You got to have the difference in mares and stuff like that. So you just can't go there with the same families that everybody else has got. So that's what I've always tried to do. Find mares that are unique to Australia, that people in Australia want and haven't been able to buy into. And that's why I've got good money for fillies in the past as well, because those families are there. And you can't have 10 of the same stallion, because if you've got 10 of the same stallion, they rank them, and then you get top dollar for one and you get nothing for the last one. So if you've got 2 or 3 of every stallion that's the top end of the market or been successful over a long period of time, it gives you a chance to attract every buyer into the market. Sloy's patronise you very, very well. You've got, I think, 4 very similarly bred horses, the Miss Hazel, the Miss Brazil family line, 2 fillies there, both by Treacherous, are they? One's by Treacherous.
One filly by Treacherous. She's a little bit smaller than the other bloke, but she's got a bit of quality about her and stuff like that, and different. And the other bloke's a colt. Yeah. And then you've got an Art Major and an American Ideal fillies, and they're both really, really outstanding fillies, I think. Anyone that gets them out, they've got a bit of presence when they come out to you. And then they've got a nice McWicked colt, who I think of them is the cheap. He's not the cheapie, but he's the bargain, if you know what I mean. He's a big, strong, imposing horse, and I think he gets over a lot of ground, so I really do like him.
Some people get worried when you're early in the sale. Rainbow Stud, yeah, you're shaking your head there. Yep. They've got the American Ideal, which is lot 1. You've got lot 2, which is the Mick Wicked. We want to make sure people are there early before the sale starts to look at these horses, and don't be late into the ring, because he's well worth having a look at. The McWickeds, people were keen on him last year. He stands up over ground. He's got a bit of a presence about him, and he's got beautiful bloodlines.
He's got great bloodlines, and the good thing about him is he's strong. Yeah. Like, he's not a weedy horse or anything else like that. He's a nice, strong colt. You only got to go back a few years ago. I think one of the top sellers in Sydney was 100,000. It was the first lot of the day to go through. So being first has never worried me. Being last sometimes has, because they're all at the bar. But you got to take your turn. That's why they use an alphabet. Everyone gets a fair go, so you just cop it and away you go.
Do you enjoy it, the sales?
I love sales. It's good to catch up with everyone you don't see. You see them from Queensland, you see them from Victoria and Western Australia. It's a great feeling. It's hard work. Days like today, you don't feel like doing too much when it's hot. Had to go and have a swim. We'll show the people the pool later. But, it's something. You're handling horses, young horses, babies is what I love. I like doing. Used to train years ago, not interested anymore, just love the babies. And you sort of walking around through the paddocks, just how the horses are. All the foals come over and they want to play with you and stuff like that. You get to know them and you interact with them, and that's what I like doing.
Can you describe the pressure? Like, you used to train. I'm sure there's times where you've thought a horse can't get beat. You sort of come out with that bit of pressure. It might only be a $5,000 race at Wagga, and then other times you're in a metro race and things like that. Is it comparable, or is it different when you're selling yearlings?
I think yearlings is harder because you've got such a short period. Most of mine have only been in 2 weeks now. So they'll get 8 weeks to thing. So you haven't got no chance for anything to go wrong. Whereas if you're racing, there's always next week. Yep. Okay, the Group 1 races and the other races, you got to have them right on the night.
But you can still win the week after.
You can still win the week after, or there's another Group 1. But if you're going to a sale and you look at Jackie the other year with hers, and it ripped its leg and stuff like that, she's been lucky they saved it and it's come back and it's a good horse. So the pressure of it is, it's intense for a few weeks, especially the last couple of weeks. But, with racing's always going to be there.
Yeah, no, absolutely it is. I feel for a lot of you guys. I think the staff and everyone behind, and you can just see that anticipation, and groups just standing around sometimes. I don't think they realise they're doing it. They're just thinking. They're not saying, but you can just tell that the pressure about it. It is March 8 and 10. The 9th, of course, is Miracle Mile, so it'll be the same. The 8th will be the parade at Sydney at Warwick Farm. We want to get people there, but we want to make sure that on the 9th, it is still open house. We want people there to be inspecting and looking at these horses. And there were so many people there last year. I know Brittany Graham, she made her way up. She was inspecting horses and then went and worked Miracle Mile, and we want people to be able to do that.
Oh, it's a great concept. It gives you the time out there. We'll go up on the Thursday, so Friday morning we'll be there for people, give the horses a day to settle in, give them a shampoo Friday morning, might even have a shower myself. But it's sort of, your horses got to get there relaxed. So if you don't get there in time and it's a rush, the horses lose the plot. Yep. So do the people preparing them. But the biggest thing is, I think, you got to be a realist of what you're selling them for. You can't go in there expecting too much for them, even though you love them and you have an opinion. At the end of the day, it's the people that are going to buy them. They're the ones that they judge them, not us. So that's why I just said we were talking about one over there before, and you couldn't believe what the reserve was of it. There's not a lot wrong with her, but you got to be a realist from what's happened to the mare and the family out of the mare and the foals that have had the bad luck. So you just know that you can't say, well, I'm going to get this for that, because at the end of the day, people are going to look at the book, and that's what judges are all about.
And you only need 2 people, don't you?
You need two people to go. A lot of character yourself, and I ain't got that, so I need 2 people. Everyone knows I put a very modest reserve on most of my horses. And there'll be some horses that I'll just sell out and they won't have a reserve on them because I know they're going to make a reasonable money and go from there.
Yeah. Last year's colt sale, Topping Colt, credit to you, how he looked, $200,000. Any word on him?
I was talking to Luke McCarthy. He brought another colt. He brought a Better's Delight out of Superdale. He said the Superdale one goes real well. He loves him. He said a real natural. He said the big bloke, he said he's got a few issues to work out with him, but he said he's got a motor. He said he's going to run. He said he's going to go. He said he just brushes his knee a little bit, which is, everyone knows if they're going to do it, they're going to go fast, and as long as they can hit it quick enough and all the cliches. But he said he gives him a feel that he's got a real good motor. He was a big horse. He's never going to be a natural 2-year-old, and that's the thing. Like when they're that size, sometimes you look at the pedigree, and the pedigree doesn't say a lot of 2-year-olds on the book.
Yep.
So that's what tells you. A good vet years ago told me, he said, black types tells you if they're any good, and he said, and then the age when they win it, that tells you when you're going to race them. Yep. And that's, true as any words have been said.
Encourage people to get along here to S K Robertson, check out some of these yearlings. And Robert will be very honest. He showed me a couple. He showed a couple of things that he believes. So I'll encourage people to get there. Get in touch with Mark Barton and Gemma Smallman. Their numbers will go across at the end. Pre-register. Make sure you pre-register. We've got the Sunshine Stars sale, which is on the weekend after, the 10th and the 11th of February. This is where I get all my dates in all sorts of trouble. Then we go Sydney. 8th through to 11, 8 through to 10, and then the 24th for Bathurst, and then 14th of April, which will round Melbourne up. But we want to make sure people are pre-registered and ready to go for Sydney for yourself, and also the Sunshine Star sales, which is this weekend. Anyway, not this weekend, the one after. But anyway, I'll get it all out. Go to nutrienequine.com and you'll be able to find it. Robbo, your number's on the bottom. If people can't get here, you're happy for them to give you a call and even potentially send video footage.
Yep.
Yeah. Go from there? Yeah,
we'll do anything to people. And again, when they come up to the sales, we'll spend as much time with them, with the horse, as they need. Yeah, it's all about working with the buyers. We've never had a lot of people actually come up here, but when we got to Sydney, we get a lot of inspections, and we just spend as much time as they want. If they want to come back 2 or 3 times, look at the same horse, don't care. We just do it all for them.
Robbo, thank you. There was no Tim Tams today. It was watermelon. I must say that to Bardo. Bardo will be he'll be happy with that. Or what do you have? Homemade chocolate biscuits. I reckon I did better with the watermelon, so don't worry about that.
He got the homemade choc chip bickies the other day. Kath she'd eaten, or one of the other blokes had eaten all the coconut slice, so he missed out on that. But me and you got watermelon, mate. We're not travelling real good at all, me and you.
Do us both good, so it won't matter one bit. Robbo, thank you. Thanks for the hospitality. Encourage people to get here and have a look at your draft. If not, make sure they're at Warwick Farm. Spend some time, go in and see you and have a good look at the quality draft that you got. Thank you very much, mate.
Too easy, man. Not a problem at all. Good to talk to you.
Thanks, buddy.